HSC Advanced 5. I'm pleased today to welcome you all on this momentous occasion. I use the word momentous because it describes years of hard work, and it also describes our countless individual achievements. So, on behalf of all graduates today, I would like to welcome Mr. Mark Holbrook, His Excellency the Director. To welcome also our Q teacher, Mrs. Anissa.
Thank you so much for taking time and coming to see our students. We really appreciate your presence. And thank you to the director and teacher Ladi Bukhari, because I know you guys are so busy and we appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Life is a journey full of new experiences. Each day is a new opportunity. Each mistake is a lesson. And each adventure is a step to a successful life. The American Language Center is a station in this journey. We laughed, cried, played, and studied together. It's not just a center, but it's a community. It's a way of making new relationships and knowing new people. Every single place in the American Language Center has a special memory in our hearts. We entered the center when we were kids, and see us now, years later, graduating with more maturity and knowingness. However how old I get, I will never forget the time I spent in the center, the people I've known, the memories I got, and last but not least, the teachers who taught me from a wise lesson to a grammar lesson. And thank you.
So hi everybody. Today I will say my story in LC, in all my stories. That was a long story. So today it's our big day, especially it's the day that we all wanted to share with our parents and we all dream about. It's our graduation day. In the center we all have some memories, we all have some things that we love to remember, and at the same time we all have some things that we hate to remember. Each class has its secrets, and for me, I have really long story in the center. They are all my family. All started on 18 September 2004. I was only 7 years old, and I was so excited to learn my first word in English. Hi, my name is Mariam. What's your name? That was my first sentence. Then I started repeating every single minute at home, at school, even when I was with my mother at shop. I remember all my class teachers. I started from children 4 to advanced 5. Even more, I remember all my teachers. My first one was Miss Asiza, and my beautiful teacher, Miss Anissa, that I want to really thank her about this unforgettable day. I really love, and finally, I really love to share with you my 2 first songs that I learned here in American Language Center. Oh, McDonald has a farm, and Twinkle, Twinkle, there's little star. That I still singing when I'm away.
Hello everyone and welcome ladies and gentlemen, مرحبا بكم. Today, since we are at the American Center, so I'm going to talk about English as my presentation. And to be more precise, I'm going to speak about the world who's speaking English, or trying to speak English. Year by year, economies are more globalized, work more localized, and information more decentralized. Share information now is a necessary tool when information is no longer tied to geography. English is that tool now more than ever. Many school systems and now require English study starting in primary school, much as they do math or science. University professors are delivering lectures in English to prepare their students better for life after graduation. Companies, both large or small, international and domestics, are mandating English as their corporate language, and individuals, whether job seekers or ambition parents as you all, are pouring money into private English. Yet with all this motivation, unfortunately, and investment in English, many countries are failing to measure the results of their efforts. It is in this context I'm going to introduce to you the results of the EF English Proficiency, the study that provides a worldwide benchmark in English proficiency over time. So I'm going to start with Asia. Some Asian countries, in particular Indonesia and Vietnam, have transformed their English proficiency over the 6 years period. China has also provided, although less dramatically. Japan and South Korea, despite enormous private investments, have declined slightly. After that, I'm going to talk about the BRIC countries. Across the board, English language skills are improving in BRIC countries. Well, the BRIC countries are Brazil, Russia, India, and China. This year, India and Russia have moved ahead of China, and Brazil is closing in. For Europe, fortunately, while the rest of Europe is already proficient in English or steadily working toward that goal, France is on an entirely different trajectory. The 7 countries with the strongest English are the small European nations whose sites complete them to adopt an international outlook. After that, I'm going to talk about Middle East and North Africa, our work. The Middle East and North Africa are the weakest regions in English. This oil-rich nation have staked their future on developing knowledge economies before their oil production peaks. An exception to their region, the cluster performance is the United Arab Emirates, which has improved significantly. Turkey, and I think it's because of the Turkish movies, I think. Turkey has improved to most of many nations over the 6 years period. This is a positive trend coming as the country continues to develop according to the number of economic factors. And last but not least, Poland and Hungary made tremendous progress in learning English. These new English skills are an important step toward building the knowledge economies they aspire to have. Well, I hope from now on, in our old word, I'm talking, of course, about the African word, we're going to improve too. Thank you very much.
The purpose of my presentation is to talk about self-confidence and exactly how to stop comparing yourself to others. My presentation is going to be divided into 3 parts. In the first part, I'm going to deal with self-confidence in its general meaning. After that, I'm going to spell out the main steps of how to stop comparing yourself to others. And finally, I'm going to sum up my presentation by giving you some advices that may help you in the future to stop comparing yourself to others and building self-confidence. Self-confidence is extremely important in our lives, in every aspect of our lives, and so many people struggle to find it. So building self-confidence needs many steps to be accomplished, and the first one is stop comparing yourself to others. The question is how to stop comparing yourself to others. It's of course by, first of all, recognize that comparing yourself to others is a bad habit. In reality, every single one of us is different, and what society does is categorizing people, and they want you to believe that you have fewer rights to be happy just because you do not fit an idealistic lifestyle. So, that's why lots of men and women resort to plastic surgery and hide away from society and grow up thinking that there's something wrong with them. 2, realize that everybody is different. We are born to be different. No 2 of us are the same. We have different mindset, we interrupt things differently, and we have different emotions. So one thing you can really do is to start thinking how different people are from you. 3, stop being afraid to be yourself. Whatever size, color, gender, race, or sexual orientation, stop being afraid to be yourself. There's only one you, and you are the only one who have the right to express what you feel. 4, forgive and learn. You should really learn how to analyze and learn how to exactly know what make you hurted, so that you can prevent it in the future from happening and be happy. 5, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. If you feel that you need self-improvement and you have set to yourself an attainable goal, go for it. And make sure that you are making it just because it will make you happy rather than impressing someone else. So, as a conclusion, I would like to say something. That is that you are beautiful just the way you are, and you don't have to change just the thoughts that you aren't good enough. Also, try to learn from your experiences and try to be the original you, than being a copy of someone else. Also, I can tell you that you can do whatever you want if you try. I think I can, I know I can, I did it, this is how it works, and thank you for your attention.
The time management tips and discipline that you develop as a student can help you for the rest of your life. Do some tips today that your future self will thank you for. I will present some tips to help you to develop a good time management skills. A. Create good study habit. Study at the same time each day so that it becomes a habit. Keep your study area just for studying and get rid of distractions. B. Plan properly for peak performance. Schedule your fixed commitments. Block out time of paper, project, meeting. Schedule your exams, holidays, break, presentation, etc. Make a weekly schedule. Follow your plan. Don't let peer pressure or the quest of short-term gratification dedicate what you consider important. Focus on the goal that you have set for yourself and follow up on the true top priority. Align your priority with your long-term values and the goals. Set priority. There is always more to do than you have time for. Be mindful that the thing you take today, the action you take today, will be sent seed of your long-term success and or failure. So, the action you can take today will contribute to your tomorrow's success. Overcome procrastination. Without a date, you are procrastinating. Whenever you get an assessment, set a goal when you are going to start it, so you can finish it without last-minute panic. Let's start a minimum. Start early to avoid the frantic finish. Remember the riddle. How to eat an elephant? The answer is a bit at a time. If it is a big assessment, break it into small steps. Look back from the future. The things that appear critically important today may seem relatively unimportant when seen from the future perspective and vice versa. So, school is a time for your life that might have a major impact of how the rest of life turns out. Your success tomorrow depends on what action you take today. Keep that in perspective so that the daily decision you make you always one. Thank you very much for your attention.
Today I'm going to show you some steps that will help you to make your dreams come true and to be successful. The first step is figure out what you want to do. If you really want to do it, then ask yourself, am I really talented? Can I really do it? These questions are really important because you don't want to lose your energy and your time on something you are just not talented. You can also ask the others about their opinion, but I want you to be careful about this one because there are some people who are envious and jealous and will tell you whether you are good or not. Now, think about how you are going to achieve this. Do you have to study? What are the universities that you can go? What are the qualifications you need? Gather all the information you can. Know what makes successful people successful. Their willpower, their confidence, and their optimism. If someone tells you differently, he or she lies. A successful person will never give up as easily. An example needed? Walt Disney. I think we all know Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So this man at first, no one liked his idea, but he believed in himself. And he went to Hollywood, and he worked and worked and worked on his idea. And he succeeded. What can we learn from this? If you know deep down there what you want to do, and you are talented, it doesn't matter what the others say. Keep on working, which brings me to the next point. Work hard. Even if you have to work 10 hours a day, it doesn't matter. Do not get lazy. And later, the work will make you even prouder because you can say, it didn't just come to me. I actually worked hard and see where it got me. Fight for your goals. A lack of money? Then do something. There must be a solution as long as we keep looking for it. There are many celebrities, actors, lawyers, doctors who were poor at first, but they believed in themselves and they worked their way up. They didn't just isolate themselves from people and be like, if I should be successful one day, it will come to me. Now, go your way. Be confident, ambitious, hardworking, optimistic, and you will get everything you want. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi everybody. Today, as you see, I'm going to talk about negative effects of video game addiction. As you know, video games have been part and parcel of kids or teenage entertainment for several years. The effects of playing video games could be both negative or positive. Here is a bit about the negative or effects. Social effects. Addicted gamers spend a lot of time playing that their personal relationships get neglected or sometimes disappear altogether. It also causes excessive crime, lack of motivation, difficulties facing obligation, and also anger and verbal abuse. Sometimes it could be extreme. It causes also physiological symptoms as depression, relief, uncontrollable feelings of rampant mood swings, fear, irritability, allergies, cold. Excessive use of video games may have some or all of the symptoms of drug addiction, rather proposed physiological addiction. Some players become more concerned with their interactions in the game than in their regular life. Violence. Violent video games have been blamed for school shootings, increases in bullying, and also violence towards women. Critics argue that these games push players to violence, reward players for simulating violence, and teach children that violence is an acceptable way to resolve conflicts. And now I'm going to show you some 5 steps to avoid this addiction. First, notice what you do when you come home from work or school. Make a list of things to do. Write down everything that has to be done during your day and list them in order of importance. Look at this list every day and follow it. Cross off each of as you take care of them. Manage video game time. So you need to play some video games, but just a little time, like for 1 hour. Try finding something else you like to do. With following these steps every day, you will find some other activities better than gaming and that you like to do. So then, thank you all.
Today I'm going to talk with you about a very serious problem that is facing our society these days, and it is internet addiction. So what is internet addiction, and what are the types of this addiction, and what makes it addictive, and what are the consequences of this addiction, and how to deal with it? At first I'm going to give you a very brief definition of internet addiction. So internet addiction or compulsive internet use is a general statement about excessive computer use that interferes with our daily life. And the types of internet addiction are several, like gaming or social networking like Twitter, Facebook, or Google, or a lot of other websites. And the causes of internet addiction are several. Some people become addicted to the internet because of the social connections they make online. But when a person has many close online friends and no one in the real world, problems can develop. Online relationships are attractive to some because it can feel less risky than meeting live people in person. And the consequences of internet addiction are very dangerous, like feeling angry or depressed when unable to get online, and just when not online, and lying about internet habits, or feeling guilty about use. And internet addiction in USA. It is estimated that internet addiction affects at least 1 in 8 Americans, and yet only 1% of college-level introductory and abnormal psychology books mentioned internet addiction. And another study surveyed students that have tried to disconnect for 24 hours and said, "Media is my drug. I really panic. I felt very inferior." How to deal with the internet addiction? I'm going to give you some tips to deal with this addiction. The first is asking yourself, why am I missing out when I spend so much time on the internet? Write down the activities and decrease your internet time to pursue some of them. And the second tip is to set a reasonable internet use goal and stick to them. Take frequent breaks, at least 5 minutes each hour, and do some other activities. For conclusion, the exhilaration and anxiety with heavy internet use is hardly uncommon. Our lives are now intertwined with the latest in media and information, Just taking a break from our connections requires a serious and often painful effort. In 2009, a program dedicated to recovery from internet and social media addiction began. It came to believe that internet addiction is not only a real disorder, but an affliction which medical professionals must study and treat in order to stay step with our rapidly changing lives. Thank you for coming.
Drugs, and especially drugs in Europe. Well, as you can see, my presentation will be divided on two parts. The first one, drugs in general, drugs worldwide and its impact. And the second, I will talk about Morocco. Of course, drug addiction is considered as one of the major social problems on earth. Drug can cause several problems. First, it can cause serious health problems such as the overdose and the cancer. This is a photo. This is a picture that shows the several effects of drugs on the human body. Well, on the other side, drugs is related to crime in multiple ways. Most directly, it is a crime to use, possess, manufacture, or distribute drugs classified as having a potential for abuse. Drugs has effects on the user's behavior. It generates violence and illegal activity. Well, this is the second part of my presentation. The production of cannabis in Morocco. Well, Morocco is, according to the UNODC, United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, the largest producer and exporter of what we call hashish in the world.
Warning about AIDS. So the definition. Firstly, I'm going to define the AIDS. Secondly, I'm going to show you the statistic of development in Morocco. And third, how to protect ourselves. Finally, the conclusion. So, warning about AIDS. Definition of acquired immune deficiency syndrome. This is in which there is a severe loss the body's cellular immunity, greatly lowering of resistance to infection and malignancy. Like we say in the diagram, between 2008 and 2030, there are huge developments. That we note that women are the most affected by the disease, and later is considered the most dangerous because pregnant women transmit the disease to the babies. And this announced students in Morocco, 100 baby born carriers of the disease, and 4 people die every day because of AIDS. How to protect ourselves? Grooming and shaver tools. We should take attention in the barber if he wash the equipment or not. Wash legs. We need add some Dettol in because we don't know who used it before us. Manicure equipment. We must say no to the architect if she hasn't cleaned the equipment with the alcohol or boil in water.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and beloved ones. I'm going to introduce myself, Sarah Hussein, and my friend, Primi Hannah. Well, I'm going to begin with the topic, which is serial killers, as the image shows. Every now and again, we hear about murders. The world is talking about brutal killing. So now we're going to talk especially about serial killers. We're going to begin with the most common definition, which is a person who commits 3 or more murders over an extended period of time. In between their crimes, they appear to be quite normal, a state which has been called a mask of sanity.
Mostly white males with the average intelligence, usually from an unstable home. They usually have an absence of a loving and a nurturing relationship. So here is the first example of a serial killer.
We're going to tell you about a serial killer, which is Jeffrey Dahmer, or what we call Miracle Killer, the cold-blooded killer. He started in unusual fascination about death since he was a little kid, even if he had a devoted family, or what we can call a happy home life. After his various arrests for assault, he finished by confessing his 18 murders, which were all females, white and single. They all looked similar, with long, dark hair parted in the middle. After killing them all, he dumped them in the woodland.
And here is a second example of a serial killer, Ted Bundy, a lady killer. He's a college graduate, law student, politically ambitious, and he's a rape counselor. Ted is respected and admired by most who met him. He's popular with women, generally considered to be a nice guy. He chooses his victims who look like his ex-girlfriend. Escaped from jail to resume his killing spree. He protested his innocence until he was sentenced to death when he showed remorse. So a serial killer can be one of us. They shop with us, pray with us, sit beside us. They can be your friend, your neighbor. They're one of us.
We'd be careful walking by the streets if we were... Well, we would be careful walking by the streets if we were you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending.
Presentation, which is about the clash between the new generations and the old generations. Today we are going to talk about three subjects: the definition, the conflicts, and the difference between them. Enjoy it. The only thing that persists in the world is change. Every passing second ages the existence people while witnessing the birth of new ones. Age adds to the experience and challenges of people. Difference. New generations are mainly referred as generations to come, or a generation that is ongoing. All generations are generations that have been succeeded by a new generation. All generations faced a lot of problems and came up and reached a state where they can grow their children without putting them to hardships. And finally, the conflicts between the new generation and the old generation. The new generation think that the old generation are always wrong, especially teenagers. They think that they know every single thing which is wrong, and that's why there are a lot of problems between teens and parents. And thank you.
Since that we are in a democratic society, we tend to forget our responsibilities in order to claim our rights. But so I decided to talk about responsibilities in our society. First, I'm going to start with a little definition of social responsibilities. So, what is a social responsibility? It says that it is the obligation of the society's members to make decisions and take actions that will enhance the welfare and interests of their society as well as their global profit. So, to put it short, having social responsibility is having the duty to aim your action toward what's good for yourself, for your neighbors, for your society in global. It is therefore quite important to the society, organization, and human life in general. It is also a non-fixed concept because it differs depending on the person's role in society. So, I'm going to talk about your responsibilities as a student. As a student, you should know that your responsibilities starts with hard work in school, behaving well, respecting your teachers and other students, and more importantly, helping each other. I've also implemented a small tip that none of your actions should compromise other students' education nor their behavior. Then I'm gonna pass to a more global scale, which is as a citizen. So as a citizen, your responsibilities consist of respecting the rights, beliefs, and opinion of others, respecting the laws put by parliaments and governments, participate in local communities, participate in the democratic process, raise the new generation in a useful and good way, serve your country whatever required, protect your environment. So, in democratic societies, citizens can live freely as long as their freedom does not cross others. So, to conclude, what I'm going to say is if you want a great life in democratic societies, all we have to do is embrace some of the responsibilities, which is mutual respect, taking responsibilities, social help, not compromising others' liberty, respecting laws, thinking ecologically, living peacefully, and accepting the other's differences without racism. Thank you.
I present myself. My name is Ahmed Sweeney, and I'm going to talk about benefits of salat or prayer concerning Islam, which is, as you know, a duty for everyone. First, prayer or salat. Prayer or salat was made obligatory for all Muslims, whether they be rich or poor, strong or weak, black or white, males or females. Prayers allows the believer to enrich their spirituality and cultivate the soul's right to love and worship the Creator, Allah. Verify, I am Allah. There is no one worthy or worship but I. So worship me and offer prayer perfectly for my remembrance. Quran, Ayah 13, link to 14. The importance of salat. The importance of prayer is conveyed constantly in the Quran and was stressed by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Note that among your duties, prayer is foremost. The performance of prayer 5 times a day is considered vital to attain success in this life and the hereafter. Following the testimony of faith, performance of the prayers at their correct times and complete in bowings, prostration and humility will guarantee forgiveness for God and everlasting paradise. Prayer linked to daily life. Muslims believe that the first matter they will be brought to account for on the day of the judgment is the prayer. If it is sound, then the rest of their deeds will be sound. And if it is bad, then the rest of their deeds will be bad. As a conclusion, prayer provides a constant reminder of the essence of our creation and provides a direct connection to Allah. It emphasizes the proximity between religion and daily life. Thank you.
Today I will present my project about home. By house, we mean the external structure of a dwelling. A home has a rich meaning. It means the interior where you live, the emotional attachment to a place where there is the whole family. We may change houses but not homes. A home is where you feel yourself, you feel free to do whatever you like. We cannot replace a home. As the proverb says, earth or west, home is best. We may go to far place, but you will never find a place similar to your country, city, or your personal home. In reality, it is good to build a nice house and to surround it with a beautiful garden or a yard. But it is difficult to make a house a home where one finds all the conditions. We have to equip our homes with all necessary things that may ensure an easy and enjoyable life. If we go back to the history people have always built different houses according to their kind of their life and where place in their life. They have built houses of various sizes depending on their social status and financial means.
Hi everyone. So I'm gonna read you a poem entitled Graduation Day by Joseph Kirnali. Yes. So Graduation Day. Graduation Day is the climax of a dream. A parental dream that begins when a child is born. And their hopes come true, it would seem. A triumph held after periods of forlorn. A feeling of pride and euphoria years away. For a daughter or son, graduation day. It's a peak of success for the graduates, not only for the graduates but parents too. A joyful event after many years they had to wait, realizing the glorious thrill of a dream come true. A genuine smile accompanied with a deep sigh, often a handkerchief in hand as the class goes by. Graduation is a deserving, hard-earned goal, with mutable and grown as foretold. It's a gratifying service for the mind and soul, in a simple and beautiful sheepskin told, that the graduate has fulfilled the educational role. At last, for the mother and father, a dream come true. Graduation day. Thank you.
So after all students have passed and we finished all our presentation, I have to say my worst things. I have to say my thank you to all to our director, Mr. Mark, and I will say my thanks to Mr. Abid Bukhari, who is our teacher owner. I will say my thank you to all our parents who came to support their children and who sacrificed to make their children in this event. So thank you all the students. Of course, I have thank you to Miss Anissa who gave us this opportunity to share with our parents. And of course, thank you everybody. Thank you to come and celebrate with us this event. So we have a little surprise for Miss Anissa. All the students have for you a surprise. Our beautiful teacher, Ms. Anissa, who gives us this opportunity to share with our parents our level of English and to show them all the years who spent money for us. Thank you, Ms. Anissa. Thank you very much.